In the heart of a small Nigerian village, where the rhythm of life beat to the pulse of ancient traditions and the promise of modern education, lived Adaeze, a girl as bright as the morning star, her spirit fueled by ambition and a burning desire to rewrite her family's story. Her parents, their hands calloused from years of toiling the land, had poured every ounce of their meager earnings into her education, a beacon of hope in their humble lives. Adaeze attended Ibubi High School, a place that stood as a symbol of progress in the community. But beneath its veneer of discipline and academic excellence, a darkness lurked, a shadow that threatened to engulf the very dreams it was meant to nurture. Adaeze in class, diligently taking notes, her eyes sparkling with intelligence. She was a star student, a beacon of intellectual prowess. Her teachers initially showered her with praise, their words a balm to her hard-working soul. But soon the tone changed, the admiration twisted into something subtle. Mr. Obinna, the math teacher. He calls Adaeze after school, his behavior subtly suggestive. Dialogue expanded for tension. Adaeze, you're always so diligent. I need your sharp mind to help me with some administrative tasks. Just a few minutes of your time, said by Mr. Obinna. Adaeze hesitates, then agrees, wanting to be helpful. They enter the empty office. The air is thick with unspoken intentions. Mr. Obinna's voice low, almost a whisper. You know, Adaeze, you're a very special girl. You possess a rare brilliance, a spark that sets you apart. Adaeze nods, a flicker of unease in her eyes. He places a hand on her shoulder, his touch lingering too long. If you ever need assistance with your grades or anything at all, you know I can help you. But you have to be nice to me too. Understand? Adaeze's breath catches in her throat. She stammers an excuse and flees, the weight of his words pressing down on her. Adaeze walks home, her mind waver. The encounter left her shaken, a knot of fear tightening in her stomach. She knew something was wrong, terribly wrong, but she couldn't articulate it, couldn't grasp the full extent of the danger. Days turn into weeks. The pattern of harassment escalates. Introduce Mr. Ade, the English teacher, and Mr. Bayo, the principal. Expand their interactions with Adaeze, showing their subtle manipulation and gaslighting. Mr. Ade, complimenting her appearance instead of her work. Adaeze, you look particularly radiant today. It's a shame your brilliance isn't matched by, well, let's just say you have other qualities that are equally valuable. Mr. Bayo, in his office, offers private mentorship, his words laced with double meanings. Adaeze, your potential is limitless. I see a future for you, a bright future. But sometimes you need guidance, a little extra push. Adaeze's face showing her growing confusion and fear. She is trapped in a web of manipulation, unable to discern friend from foe. She begins to isolate herself from her friends, worried that they may also be involved. Adaeze found herself trapped in a web of manipulation where every compliment was a trap, every offer a veiled threat. The men were working in concert, their actions coordinated, their whispers a chorus of predatory intent. They made her feel like her future success depended on her compliance. Mr. Obinna confronts Adaeze again, his tone more direct. Adaeze, let's be clear, WAEC is coming. I know you want to pass. I can make that happen. But you have to be cooperative. Adaeze's face is a mask of fear and defiance. She is at a crossroads. Adaeze's voice trembling. I don't understand. I've worked hard. Mr. Obinna. Interrupting. Hard work is important, but sometimes you need to be smart. You need to know how to play the game. Adaeze alone, her mind racing. She considers her options, succumb, report, or fight back. The weight of her decision is immense. And her eyes filled with tears. She felt trapped, cornered. If she refused, would they destroy her future? If she spoke out, would anyone believe her? In a society where power often resided with men, would her voice be heard? Adaeze was trapped in silence. She couldn't confide in her parents, their reverence for teachers a terrifying barrier. In their world, teachers were next to deities, their words unquestioned. their authority absolute. To accuse them would be to invite disbelief, even condemnation. She retreated, a hunted creature in her own school. She avoided staying late, her heart pounding with every encounter. She ignored their veiled advances, clinging to her dignity like a lifeline. But the predators noticed her resistance, and they were not pleased. Adaeze submits her paper, a flicker of hope in her eyes. The results are posted, and her name is marked with a glaring fail. Tears stream down her face, Adaeze's voice trembling, confronting Mr. Obinna. "Why? I know I passed. Why did you do this?" Mr. Obinna smirking, his eyes cold. "You made your choice, Adaeze. This is the consequence." "You thought you could defy us?" Adaeze became broken and despairing, sits alone. The weight of injustice crushed her spirit. She felt utterly alone, abandoned by a system that was supposed to protect her. Just as despair threatened to consume her, a glimpse of hope emerged. Mrs. Okiki observes Adaeze, her face etched with concern. She calls Adaeze aside, her eyes filled with empathy. "My dear, I've seen the change in you. You've gone from a bright, confident girl to someone afraid. Talk to me, Adaeze. Please." Adaeze pours out her story, her voice choked with tears. Mrs. Okiki listens, her expression hardening with each revelation. These men, they think they can exploit and abuse their power. But they are wrong. Mrs. Okiki, a woman of quiet strength, gathers evidence. She carefully examines exam scripts, uncovering the tampering. She speaks to other girls, finding a chorus of silenced voices. Visuals of documents, whispered conversations, and determined faces. Mrs. Okiki, a beacon of integrity, became Adaeze's champion. She meticulously gathered evidence, her resolve fueled by a burning sense of justice. She discovered that Adaeze was not alone, that other girls had suffered in silence. Mrs. Okiki confronts the education board and the village chief. The truth is laid bare, the teacher's actions exposed. The truth, once buried, erupted like a volcano. The school's administration was exposed, their carefully constructed facade shattered. The perpetrators were arrested, their reign of terror brought to an end. Adaeze's grades are corrected. She stands tall, her eyes filled with a newfound strength. Adaeze's academic record was restored, her future reclaimed. But more importantly, she had ignited a spark, a revolution of courage. She had empowered other girls to break their silence, to reclaim their voices. Adaeze stands at the podium, her voice clear and strong. The crowd listens, captivated by her words. The music swells, becoming triumphant. Adaeze standing, saying, "I stand before you not just as a graduate, but as a survivor. I learned that education is not just about textbooks and exams. It is about courage, about standing up for what is right, even when it is terrifying. It is about refusing to be silenced, about finding your voice and using it to fight for justice. I learned that even in the darkest of times, hope can be found in the kindness and bravery of others. To every girl who has ever felt silenced, know that you are not alone. Your voice matters, your story matters, and your courage can change the world." Adaeze's story became a beacon, a testament to the power of resilience and the transformative potential of courage. It became a reminder that even in the face of overwhelming adversity, the human spirit can triumph. And that one voice, one act of bravery, can ignite a movement, can change a community, can change the world. It showed that education is not just the transfer of knowledge, but the cultivation of character, the nurturing of courage, and the unwavering pursuit of justice. Her story was not just her own, but a legacy, a promise that no girl would ever have to suffer in silence again. Adaeze walks away from the graduation, her head held high, her steps filled with purpose, a symbol of hope and resilience, highlighting the power of collective action and the enduring legacy of her story. Reinforcing the message that even in the face of darkness, light will always prevail. Adaeze was not just a victim. She was a fighter, a warrior in the making, and she would not let them steal her dreams. Together, we can make a difference. Together, we can build a world where every child's story is one of hope, not hardship. A world where every girl has the opportunity to live a life of dignity, opportunity, and fulfillment. Thank you for watching.